Hey everybody, how are we? It's Thursday night here in the UK. It's 10:05 p.m. British time, GMT. So I thought I'd come online and see who wants to join me for a chit chat hangout. I know I don't go live very often anymore. This is my second live that I've done in 6 months. I had a massive break from streaming due to having problems with people trolling me and such. So yeah, I thought I'd come back and try and do a second stream. Hopefully you guys will come in and just hang with me for a bit. We'll see. But yeah, welcome to my channel if you're new. And my channel is my journey living with autism and how I don't let it stop me. And I define how I let it control me. And yeah, we've got 3 people in the house. Welcome, guys. Come on in. Come and say hey. I hope you're doing well on this Thursday morning, afternoon, evening, where you may be in the part of the world. For me, it's Thursday evening, getting on to late evening now. It's 10 o'clock. So yeah, I thought I'd come on and chinwag for a bit. I may send the StreamYard link to some friends who want to come on and see me. Oh, disconnected, I think. We've got 0 people in here again now. Hey, Brian, how are you? Of course I remember you, Brian. Howdy. Good to see you. How are you? It's so good that you came in the chat. How are you doing? I may send this out to some buddies. I'm going to text this out right now. Hey, Clayton, how are you? Give me a minute. I'm just going to send this out to, where is he? There he is. Him there. Hopefully if it'll let me. There we go. Hopefully people will join us. I just sent the link out to a couple of people in my private messages. So how are you doing, Clayton? So good to see you. I hope you're doing well. And Brian, if you're still here, I don't know if you are. It says there's only one person here with me. So yeah, I just thought I would come on and see some people. I know, like I said, I'm not expecting anyone big to come in here because I've not been streaming that regular for the last 6 months due to personal problems, and also that my anxiety took quite a big massive dip and made my mental health go a bit but I'm glad you're planning your next video, Clayton. I actually just uploaded about 5 hours ago, 6 hours ago, so my video is up and running. I'm going to be doing it on a autism report called Left Stranded, which I will attach the actual article in the description now. So if you guys want to read it, then you guys can go ahead and read that for yourselves. So that's the link there of the video I did today. That's going to be done in parts. I'm probably going to do it in 3 or 4 parts right now. Welcome to the 2 people that I have in the chat currently. I am going to send this out in some private messages as well. So let me send the link out to some other people, including Mr. Him over there. So let me attach it to that person as well. Oh, why is it not let me do that? Right, let me copy this into there, because he may come in if I post it to him. So that's him, that's him. Let's see how this works. So I sent it out to a few people. Hello, Brandon Jackson. How are you? Hey, Tara. How are you? Good to see you, Tara. I was in your stream a couple of days ago, I believe, and you streamed. And I did say hello a few times. Hey, Tojo. Do you want to come up on the panel, brother? Hey, Shani. How are you, sweetheart? It's so good to see you. I don't know how long this will be, but I've sent the link out to some friends already in private messages. So if people want to come up, I can send in the Hangouts or... You're welcome, Tara. It's good to see you, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Brandon Jackson, I have autism as well. Well, welcome, Brandon. You're in the perfect channel then, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much, Shani, for jumping in as soon as you woke up. I appreciate that. Brandon, I don't really know you that well, so for now I'm going to say no because I'm not going to be on long either. I'm probably going to get this to be maybe a half-hour stream if I'm lucky, and then I'll log off because I don't want to bore people. But yeah, I just thought I'd come on here and say hello. Dojo or Shani or Tara, if you want to come on the panel for a little bit. I know you guys really well, so okay, Dojo, no worry, brother. I love you anyway. Thank you so much for coming in and seeing me. I appreciate you. If I can get my trying to think, I would paste it in the chat, but I really don't want to do it. So yeah, this is not going to be a long stream, guys. I just want to come on and chat and hang for a bit. I know that I haven't streamed in ages. I apologise because of issues I had last time round with people, and like I said, my mental health took a significant dip, and I kind of decided to take some time off for myself. And now I feel like I'm ready to hit the streaming again, and hopefully we can. Okay, Shawnee, no worries. And yeah, I thought I'd just pop on and say, hey, how's it going to everyone? I know that there's some changes that are happening right now with regards to COVID and what the UK and across the world are doing. I know in the UK right now for us, we're not allowed to meet in more than groups of 6 people. So that's kind of put a big bummer on some of my plans that I had. And now obviously I can't do it because I'm no thanks, just wanted to show the love back. You're welcome, Tara. No worries. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Hugs right back, lady. Hugs right back, lady. Hey, Train Spotting, how are you? Please do not be inappropriate because I know what you're like. And I will be watching your comments in the chat because you do tend to be slightly inappropriate. So I'm going to be watching you. Like I said, either Shani or Tara, you can come up on the panel if you so wish. Shani, let me get Twitter up and I'll tweet you the link out because I don't really want to risk getting trolls in my chat. So give me a second and I'll quickly log in and link you. So let me copy that. Let me go let me go into my Twitter because I'd rather do it that way rather than if it was right the right one. Hold on a second. Let me quickly do this. The glorious thing of trying to send a link. You can tell I've not done this for a while. So let me get into my messages. Hold on a second. And then I need to go to here. Where is she? There. Next. Why is this being funny with me? Go away. There you go, Shani. The link is in your Twitter. So get this right. In pubs and clubs, we have to social distance. But we've had a football match. We can have 30,000 in a football match, no drama. Because that makes total sense. Train Spotting, exactly. I don't get it. But Shani, check your Twitter messages. I sent you the link in Twitter message. So click that when you're ready. But yeah, I just thought I'd come on here and say howdy and see how people are. And yeah, this is just a catch-up stream, hangout stream, whatever you want to call it. And just kind of testing the waters for streaming per se. Because I've not really been around on the streaming platform. Let me put my headphones down here because they're irritating me. And my ears hurt from wearing them all day because I've been listening to a lot of music. And I've got my new little necklace on, which says The Greatest Showman little quote thing. So I've got my new necklace on, so it makes me feel good. Yeah, so I just thought I'd come on. I've got my pink autism jacket on because I'm absolutely freezing. So I've got my little Just Awesome, yeah, that way, Just Awesome top on. Hey, Will, how are you? Good to see you. What's the difference between 30,000 in a football stadium and a couple hundred people in a pub or club? What's the difference? I'll comment a complete drop kicks. I'm not really going to go there with that discussion in train spotting because it's a lot of stats and figures I don't understand, and I'd rather not discuss that, to be honest with you. But I know a lot of people are going through changes right now and overwhelmingly dealing with them, and I'm trying my best to keep myself fairly calm and grounded on some aspects of them. So yeah, I'm just trying to kind of catch up with people. I know, like I said, it's been a long time since I've streamed because of certain circumstances and just my health in general being absolute doo doo. So yeah, I'm kind of coming back slowly to the streaming per se. I've been going on a couple of people's panels here and there when I feel up to it. Hello, JBD Camo Man, how are you? Welcome. It's been a while since I've seen you. Hope you are well. No, Trace, it's not about being quiet, but it's just the fact that I don't really feel confident discussing COVID stuff because I'm not very good at the facts and figures and all that scientific stuff. It kind of agitates me somewhat. Hey, Cassie. Hey, Lewis Fuller. How are you? It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well, Lewis. Thank you so much for giving me the like. I do appreciate that. And how are you doing, Cassie? It's great to see you. Thanks so much for popping in. I do appreciate you. I hope everything is well with you today on this Thursday morning, afternoon, evening. So, yeah, I'm trying to be getting back into the streaming thing because I missed it. Having 6 months break was a really, really long time to go without streaming, but I needed it, and at the time I was getting heavily trolled every time I came on. It was just awful. But now I'm hoping that it will be less stressful and doing them sort of probably once every couple of weeks maybe just to catch up with people. Yeah, I'm back, Cassie. I'm still doing my uploads, as you've probably seen. I uploaded a video about a new autism campaign here in the UK. Hey, NJ Lawn and Hedge Cutting, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks so much for coming into the stream. I appreciate you. But yeah, I just thought I'd come on here and catch up with you all and kind of discuss what's going on with you in the world of you. As Shani says on her stream, she's like, what's going on in the world with you? So I want to know what's going on in the world with you guys. And now I'm going to allow my friend, my beautiful sister, Aussie sister. Hey, lovely, how are you?
I am tired but good. How are you?
I'm slightly nervous. This is only my second stream I've done in 6 months, so I'm kind of getting back into the swing of things.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it, when you haven't done it for a while?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to get back into it, into the lingo and the talking and the flow. You're doing well, though.
Yeah, I just thought I'd try. I was like, you know what? I need to get back into the swing of being active per se and kind of not hide myself away all the time. So I was just like, you know what? I'll go live. I'm bored. I've not done much all day. So, hey, Ralph,
Yeah.
how are you? So, yeah, and I've got the beautiful Shani, the chronic health chick on my panel, my Aussie sister who I love dearly. So, if you don't know Shani, please get connected with her. She's doing some amazing work on her channel. She's just started her own business, which I'm super, super proud of her because she's been working a long time for this. She's been doing a lot of hard work and getting herself tired. Hey, Danny, how are you? So I'm really proud of what she's doing, and I think I should let her promote her channel and tell the world what she does because they need to hear it.
Oh, darling. I have to do that, but I will. Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm Shani. I have a social media called the Chronic Health Chick. I host live support groups similar to Gemma about chronic illness, but in a bit more of a general sense, I think. Yeah, so I host live support groups, I create educational content, and I've just started my own business called Indigo Net, where I'm doing something a bit more professionally, creating mental health support programs that anyone can access at any time all over the world. So that's what I'm doing at the moment.
Shani is super, super busy. She's doing so much work. Like I've never seen her be as busy as what she is now, but she's always constantly on the go. There's never a moment where I don't see her resting, or she's always constantly on the go doing something, whether that's on a panel, on her own panel, doing her streams. She's always constantly on the go, and that inspires me because it lets me know that there's other women out there, other men out there, I should say, as well, that can do the same thing as what she's doing and makes a difference to everybody. So if you're not connected with Shani, please go in, subscribe, and leave a little message and be a genuine person. Leave a genuine comment, let her know that Gemma sent you so she can have some new friends, and it would be amazing for her to get some new people. She deserves it after the hard work she does all the time. So she's my amazing Aussie sister, and she also has a chronic health bunny. She has Tim the bunny.
I do. He's in the background just there, chewing on something.
Yeah, I see him. Hey, yeah. Nicole. Hey, 23K. How you doing? So, yeah, I just thought I'd come on and kind of socialise and be like, I'm still here. It's just because I haven't streamed for a while. I thought, you know what? I'll get back into it. And after being on your panel, I was like, all this time I've been hiding. Why can't I just pluck up the courage, get back out there, get my face back out there, and be like, if something happens or if I don't cope, then I can leave or I can explain about it. Whereas I'm like, right now I'm super relaxed. I'm actually not as anxious when I first hit the go live button. I'm like, but now I'm more relaxed because I'm with my friends. Hey Teresa, how are you? And Nicole. So yeah, I'm get to be here with my Aussie sister who's just woken up because it's early in the morning for her right now.
Yeah, it's 10 to 7 in the morning right now. So I've been up for about an hour, but I did the whole like laying in bed thing where you're like, do I get up? Do I get up?
Yes.
I was starting to potter around and your notification came up. So I was like, she's going live. She's going live. I better go say hello. And I wasn't sure if you could up.
Yeah, I just thought I'd kind of catch up with everyone because I know people have been a bit concerned about me while I've not been around. And like I said, part of that is because my mental health has been absolute, what can I say, shot. I've had severe bad anxiety to the point where I actually went to stay with my dad for 5 months because I couldn't cope mentally. I was very upset, getting frustrated at every single change that was happening with regards to the COVID guidance and stuff like that. And then I decided to come back. I've been back nearly a week now, so it's good. And getting back into the swing of being home. As you can see, I'm in my lounge, which I've had a massive tidy up, and I had a massive clean off my flat. And oh my god, I'm ashamed of myself. It was filthy. I had to do a serious clean, because it was dusty as hell. I sneezed everywhere. I was like, oh no. So I had to do a deep clean and chuck bags of rubbish and yeah, all that fun adult stuff.
Yeah, but it's good, isn't it? It's great to be in your own space, in your own home, you know, and getting to neaten things up in your house is so good for your mental health as well.
Yeah.
You know, organizing the environment around you helps organize things up here.
Yeah.
At least for me.
Yeah, it made me feel better because it's kind of, I knew all this stuff had to be binned and chucked out. And it wasn't until I realized I had like 3 big black bags, like this big, stacked with stuff. I'm like, what the hell have I been keeping all this stuff for? Clearly I don't wear it or I don't need it. So, and then my mum was like, don't bin it all yet. Leave a couple of bags or whatever. We can donate them to local charity shops. I've got 2 bags in the hallway and then 1 bag for the rubbish that I chucked out earlier. And I'm like, oh, wow, actually, I didn't think about that. Some people could do with new clothes, or I'm sure they could benefit from them. So I just got them tied up, ready to take to the charity shop with me. Hey, Joseph, how you doing? Will, the cool Elvis picture is currently away in my wardrobe because, unfortunately, before I went to stay at my dad's house, I actually ended up breaking it. Stupid me, because we were moving some stuff in my wardrobe and I had a massive smack bang and I got it out and the corner of it smashed. So I need to get a new photo frame for it because it's all broken. So I'm a bit gutted with myself. So silly Gemma broke her own photo. So yeah, wasn't good. But it'll be back out on show. Hopefully I might move it into here on the wall behind me because my bedroom wall is going to be getting repainted. into a deeper purple colour because I'm not happy with the light purple on the wall. So I'm going to go a bit more darker and paint it. And unfortunately, my hair, the purple wouldn't take to it, so which is why my hair's not purple right now. It literally went orange, and I had to stick another dye to make it back to brown again because it went orange.
Oh.
As in bright orange, as in like tangerine orange. All my hair up here was like, yeah. I was like, this isn't meant to go like this. Why is it not going purple like it usually does? And my sister's like, Gemma, what the hell? Have you put it on the wrong way? I was like, no, I don't think so. And then literally we left the dye on for about, it said 15 to 20 minutes. So we left it on there. And then she was like, Gemma, my God, you're going to have to go and re-dye your hair. And the next day, I done my hair Monday. Yeah, on Tuesday, I woke up and all my hair here was orange. And I was just like, no, that's not going to look good. So, yeah, I've got lots of hair dye in my hair. I had to wash it and, yeah. So I don't think I'll be dyeing my hair anytime soon because my hair is clearly not wanting to do it. So that sucks.
It's stages. It is definitely stages you got to do with your hair. Orange is usually the first one. Usually if your hair goes like that bright orange straight away, you'll have to bleach it again. Like you give it a day or two and then you bleach it again. And
yeah.
Wow.
It just scared me because I've never had it that bright orange before. I had it to a point where it's gone sort of yellowy orange colour. I'm like, oh, okay, it's not too bad. And then I re-dye it. But this was bright orange. And I even sent a photo to my mum. And my mum's like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, trying to dye my hair purple. And she's like, yeah, I don't think it's going to work, is it? And then the next photo I took was like my hair was starting to go green. I was like, yeah, something's not right here. The dye's not working. So I didn't end up doing it, but I'm going to go to the hairdressers instead and get it done properly. So at least it'll work that way, I'm hoping.
Yeah, because so that's
oh, yes, there's the famous purple extensions, everybody.
I haven't had time to put them in yet. I can, but yeah, I literally, like, when I got your message, like, you want to come on? I'm like, right, coffee. Where's my coffee? I haven't had time to do any of mine.
I saw you in the chat. I was like, you got to come up here and see me. So I was like, I was kind of getting worried on my own. I was like, don't know what I'm doing.
I'm going. It's okay.
And because you make it so natural and easy for people to go live with you, like me and you when we go live together, I'm like, I don't have to worry about anything. Whereas doing it on my own channel, I'm like, it's completely different.
When you're on your own, that's the thing. To have to keep the conversation going on your own constantly, like for half an hour, 2 hours, it's really exhausting.
Yeah, it is. Like, people don't understand the pressure as well, because once you present yourself online and you've got the whole world potentially looking at you, so it's like, oh my God, if I screw up or say something stupid, you've got the whole world going, what the hell was she saying? It's like, so I'm kind of getting myself lightly back into the streaming thing, and hopefully doing this stream will help me go, oh, that wasn't as bad as what I thought, because I've got Shani, my incredible Aussie sister, on with me, which helps me feel much more relaxed than what I was at the beginning of my stream. I'm like, So, yeah, this is pretty much a test to kind of gather if I'm good for streaming. And I've got a few topics I want to stream about in the future. So I'm kind of just seeing how it'd work with people in the time zones and such. So, yeah, I'm pleased it's going well so far. So I'm happy. Thank you, Will. My hair needs to actually be I need to just kind of relax and try and do different things. And like just now I gave myself a fright because I was trying to run myself a nice bowl bath to get myself relaxed, ready for bed later, and got freaked out by a spider in my bath. So I've had to leave it in a cup until my dad can get here in the morning to get rid of it. I do not touch spiders in my life.
Yikes.
So I went to get it and I was like, no. Hey, OJ-san, how are you doing? And the little ones don't really bother me. I can get rid of the little ones, but this one was literally crawling towards the edge of my bath, and I'm like, no, thank you. I'm good. I'll just leave it alone and put it in a cup and on a plate so it's ready for my dad to get rid of in the morning. So I rang my dad, like, is there any chance you can come right now to get rid of the spider? He's like, Gemma, I'm in bed. I've been working since 6:30 this morning. I'm like, Dad, I really need to have a bowl bath. He's like, can't you wait till the morning? I'm like, fine. So I just left it in the bath. so you can come get it before work in the morning. I'm like, yeah, I'm not touching the creepy thing. So it's. Apart from that, I've had a good day though, because I linked a article in the chat a little while ago about a autism article from UK, which is based on COVID and kind of how a lot of autistic people and their families are really struggling right now with adjusting to being in lockdown all the time. Because the UK is now pending a second lockdown, and we've now been told that we're not allowed to meet in larger groups than 6 people, as from Monday technically, but they've officially announced it yesterday. It was on the news being announced by the Prime Minister and his scientific people, and that kind of made me panic. I was like, oh, okay. So on Saturday I was due to go to the pub to see a live concert, and now I can't, because if I do go, there's a risk of getting fined. So I'm like, that's just mucked up my plans, because I don't want to break the law, obviously. So I'm trying not to.
Yeah. Oh, that sucks.
So yeah, it's kind of, I understand why they're doing it, and I understand that the rate is obviously going up, and the amount of cases in the UK has gone up dramatically from what they're saying. It's like, apparently in the last 5 days we've had 2,000 cases a day, new ones. So yeah, Boris has kind of basically said, okay, scrap what I said 2 months ago about going out, socialising. We now can't. And if you do socialise, you're only allowed to socialise up to groups of 6 people. And one of them groups has to be your support bubble, is people who you either live with or you associate with on a regular basis. So for me, that leaves me with potentially only 3 people: my sister, my dad, my nephew, because I don't see my mum apart from about once a month if I'm lucky. She lives only half an hour down the road from me, and I can't see my nan or my mum's husband technically right now, because my nan's high risk and so is my mum's partner. So I have to stay away from them, because my mum's husband is a recovering cancer patient and my nan has heart issues. So I'm kind of stuck. I want to see my nan and see my mum and her partner, but right now, like I've said to him, the risk is if I come there and I potentially infect them or they catch it from me, then their health's going to get worse. I'd rather not be the reason they're ill. So therefore, I'm trying to stay away. So we've been FaceTiming instead, which is awkward as hell, trying to keep eye contact on a screen with someone. I'm like, I've got to look at the phone all the time and be like, So I'm kind of trying to use this as a practice to kind of maintain my eye contact. That's another thing that people keep picking me up on. They're like, Gemma, your eye contact seems a lot better since you've come back and you're trying to make a difference. I'm like, yeah, because people have told me off about my lack of eye contact, but at the same time, it's because I have issues with eye contact, which Shani knows about. I'm self-aware on her channel that if I don't always look at the screen, it's not like I'm being disrespectful all the time. It's just the fact that I take so much mental effort doing it all the time that I get really, really tired, and people go, oh, that's you being stubborn. No, it's the fact that I get tired and I can't do it.
Yeah, seriously, it doesn't even faze me. That's it. I don't know why people care about it so much. It's just these little things. I don't know why people put energy into these tiny little things that really don't matter. If you can't make direct eye contact, whatever. I don't care. I don't do it with my recorded videos. I don't know if you've noticed that. In my recorded
Yes, I did notice a couple of times, yeah.
Yeah, because one, I'm reading a script in a lot of those videos, and I had my dad pick me up on it and go, hey, you look like you're actually reading a script. I went, that's intentional, right? He went, no, why are you doing that intentionally, not always looking at the screen? I went, because there are people watching that have autism, that have those difficulties, and they won't be watching my eyes. They're listening to what I'm saying. So there's little tricks you can use to adapt your behavior so someone feels more comfortable watching your content, picking the right music, the way you behave, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Not the end of the world, man. It's content.
No, that's like with my content, and a lot of other people who are in this chat, I do a lot of scripting on my videos, because scripting to me isn't necessarily bad. Like, people say, oh, you should try and not script, Gemma. But the problem is with that, I have anxiety issues, so for me, scripting helps to lower it, and also it helps me keep focused. Because if not, I tend to waffle. I'm like, no, keep it relevant, keep it short, keep it to the point. So when I did my video today, I really had my notes in front of me, so I had them down here. I looked up here, so I was like, oh, okay, that point, that point, that point, and look at the screen. People go, why do you script so much? You're ruining it. I'm like, I have to script because it's anxiety, and if I don't, I'm going to ruin my whole video. So
Yeah,
it's kind of, I do it as a precaution of looking after myself.
yeah, and it just makes
Hey,
sense
bee
to do that.
lady.
Yeah, if you're doing a factual video, you want to make sure that you're on point, you're getting through the. It's one thing to do a live stream where it's a discussion. We have a chat, we waffle on, we ramble, we get off topic, we go back on topic. You know, that's one thing to have a discussion about it. When you're doing a short video, you want to get to the point of
Yeah.
why you're doing the video, and having your scripts there, or even just dot points of how you're going to talk, what you're going to talk about, and how you're going to do it. It's so good to get you through it quickly, and it helps
Yeah,
you with
exactly.
editing afterwards, because instead of editing a 20-minute video where you waffled on and you rambled and forgot what you said, like me, it takes you 5 minutes because you got a quick video and you do it like
Yeah.
that.
That's how I'm inspired by you, how you do your videos, because often if I go to film a video, usually I check that you've uploaded, and I usually have the notification come up. I'm like, oh, perfect, Shani's uploaded. Click on that. I watch yours, comment on it. And I'm like, oh, okay, so she's sat on this position. She looks at this position on the screen. And I take a lot of tips from your channel because I'm like, oh, well, today she's looking at that kind of that angle of the screen, or today she's over here. And I'm like, okay, so if I kind of try and make my head movements so that people see I'm actually trying to make contact and be like, look, this is important to me, this is why I'm doing it, and this is what I want you to get out of it. And then I link the articles in my description, and people go, how come everything is so focused? I'm like, because that's the way my brain works. If I don't have a set schedule, then I tend to panic that I'm going to ruin it, or people go, oh, well, she's gone from this subject to something else. So
Yeah,
I take a
especially when
lot of from you.
Yeah, especially when you're factual. If you're doing an opinion video talking about your perspective on something, yeah, okay, you maybe don't have to have a script. For those in the chat going, I just
Hey,
turn the
J
camera
Man.
on. Again, if you just turn the camera on, great, go for it. I do that sometimes as well. But when I'm being very, very factual, a lot of my videos are education about health, just like Gemma's, or we're reviewing an article about health, or we need to
Yeah.
know what we're talking about to give the right information.
Yes.
So having a script there with everything ready to go, it's just easier. You get it done faster. It helps anxiety as well. Yeah, it's just quicker. Most YouTubers do it. You know, they script it and they get on with it, record it, off they go. Because we've got a lot of other things on our plate too. We don't have all day to record
No,
these.
exactly.
You gotta get on with it.
Shani's very good at that. That's the thing. Like with your videos, it's a lot quicker and easier to understand what you're trying to convey and say to people. When like I say, I take a lot of imagination from your channel. I'm like, oh, well, today she's done this and she's done this and she does it that way. And a lot of the time that now you say about sometimes you don't look at the screen. Like I've seen maybe a couple of times where you've kind of done the facial expression to indicate what you're trying to say, and I look at it and I'm like, oh, okay, so that's what she's meant, because I tend to read your facial expression and I lip read a lot of the time. So when people are saying stuff, they go, oh, why do you look at someone's lips? Or like a lot of time if I'm on a panel with someone, especially with Shani, I think she's probably noticed it, I tend to look at the side of her face here, or I look towards the bottom. So when she talks to me, I'm like, yeah, I understand what you're saying. I can indicate that I'm listening as well as trying to read what she's saying to me. And a lot of people go, oh, so you're overstimulating yourself. No, I'm trying to self-read, so then when I do get asked a question, or the conversation gets retaliated to me, they go, oh, so Gemma, what do you think? I'm like, oh, well, she said this, 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 this. This is what I think, point one, point two. And then I'm able to feed back to Shani what she was saying. So then people go, oh, so you were listening. Yeah, it just takes me a little while to process it all and get my thoughts out. Whereas with Shani, I'm able to get my thoughts out quite quickly. I'm like, oh, okay, I can kind of rapid fire my thoughts out. With a lot of other people, I sit there and kind of, what do I say? When do I say it? And I get a lot nervous with people. So, hey, William, good to see you. Hey, Tamara, it's good to see you. If anyone's got any questions for Shani or for me, if you want to put them in the chat. I don't want to waffle on too much longer because I don't want to bore everybody. So I know people have got a lot more work to do.
You waffle away, young lady. You waffle as much as you want. This is your channel. You
I
waffle
know.
away.
I just don't want to think people are being like stuck in going, oh, what's she waffling on about now? It's like I don't want to bore people.
Oh, honey. It's all right. I think about that sometimes on my channel too, especially when I'm on my own. I'm just like, am I even talking about the stuff people want to hear? I don't even know anymore.
Yours is
Uh,
always relevant. Like I never feel like you've gone off topic or off key. I'm like, oh wow, you've got another topic. This is so relevant, and you've got another topic that's key news to talk about, and everything. I always keep like your videos on hand to watch. So if I need a topic, we go back and I talk about. Oh, well, today we talked about this, and I often go back on your videos, like the color blindness one that you done recently. Me and my dad have watched that about 4 or 5 times. He's like, I definitely have this, don't I, Gemma? I'm like, yeah, Dad. Yeah, for instance, yesterday he was here doing some work in my bedroom, and he goes, Gemma, what colour's this? I went, Dad, it's black. He was like, no, it's blue. I was like, no, it's really black. Look, this is blue, this is black. And I show him my notepad. I'm like, my notepad, this, to me, this is dark blue, this is blue. And then I had my headphones. I go, that's black. He goes, they're both the same colour. And I'm like, no. So now he's actually getting tested for colour blindness at the doctor's because he keeps getting really confused with things like bus timetables. The other day he thought that he couldn't find his van and we gone out for dinner. He goes, where's my van? I went, Dad, your van's out here. Like it's the only tall van that's like stuck out in the whole traffic in the car park. He goes, that's not my van. I was like, Dad, your van's white. All the other vans in this car park are black. You drive a white van. He's like, oh. I'm like, oh my God. I felt awful for him. He's like, Gemma, he goes, did I just embarrass you? I was like, no, you didn't embarrass me, but I'm trying to help you and point out the colour differences and say, look, this is white, this is black. And he was adamant that I was wrong. He's like, no, you're wrong. I'm like, Dad, your white van is here. All the other vans in this car park are black. I'm like, whose van's which? Oh, okay. Like, I felt so bad for him. I'm like, oh. So
oh,
that really helped him. He was like, if it wasn't for Shani explaining how colour blindness works, and he actually played it to his work colleagues today because he works on a building site. And he's like, now they can't say anything. Is when they take the mick out of me usually when I'm trying to explain that I don't see certain colours, and they go, oh yeah, right, you just want the attention. My dad's like, no, I am actually colourblind. I can't see. So now
yeah.
they're being a bit more considerate towards him. And he's like, well, friend Shani's explained everything perfectly. He was like, where has this been my whole life? Why couldn't I explain it? I was like, because I didn't even know it was a thing, to be honest, until maybe a few months ago. I knew that there was people saw colours and different signs and stuff. I didn't, but for my dad, I'm like, is he
Mm.
colourblind or is it just something he sees differently to me? And I was like, I never kind of put my finger on it. And then when you did that video, I was like, oh my God, my dad's totally colourblind. He's been like that for years. I'm like, oh my God.
That's what those videos are for. Like my friend and I want to throw credit out there to my best friend Sean. She works with me behind the scenes on a lot of these sort of
Hey, Mike.
videos. Hey, Mike. Yeah, she works behind the scenes a lot with me on these videos because when it comes to creating the chronic health library, which is what Gemma's referring to, it takes a lot of work. We do a lot of research across multiple sites. We basically consult Dr. Google and compile all the information we can find, make it as simple and easy to understand as we can, and then we put it into a script and we create a video. So we can do that. That's exactly what we want. People to go, oh, that's easy to understand. If someone gives me feedback going, I have no idea what you're talking about, we'll change the video because we want it to be understood. We want health to be easy to understand.
Yeah.
Not as complicated as what it can be made out to be medically. It can be easy to understand. So I'm so glad that he got some benefit out of that video.
Yeah, he definitely has. I think also for me and him, it's kind of bonded our relationship a bit more because we'd start getting a bit distant with me being around there during the more extreme end of COVID. It kind of, we got really argumentative with each other, and it's a case of going, look, I don't want to sit here and argue. I want to be able to kind of debate things with you and talk about a lot of things. And he was like, oh, maybe I can understand you a bit more now that you can understand me. And we've actually got to a point where we're actually more talkative. And like today, I've been on the phone with him. He's like, "How's your day today? Are you happy? Are you coping?" And he's asking me questions that he's never really thought of asking. He's always kind of assumed that I'm fine unless I talk to him or go, "Actually, Dad, I need to talk." Whereas he's like, "Oh well, I assumed you didn't need me," and I'm like, sometimes just asking me if I'm okay is a great question, because that then gives me go, oh, actually you've asked, now I'm going to tell you. Whereas before he was like, oh, I just assumed that you were fine because you always appear super happy and you never appear that you're upset. I'm like, masking, practice, coping, mechanisms, skills that I have to do every day just to go, yay, I'm some kind of happy balanced.
Yeah, no, that's so good. That's so good because even when something you and I talk about all the time on my channel, even though you and I have like very, very different chronic health issues, we do both
Yeah.
have anxiety though. Though our
Yes.
anxiety affects us in different ways. Or some similar, but a bit different as well. We both have to go through the journey of chronic health, and the journey of chronic health can have the similar struggles across the entire board when it
Yeah.
comes to illness. So it's really good that you're able to relate more to your family and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's so important to have that
I
support
think
network.
part of that is the fact that now everyone is getting the chance to sit down and have time with their loved ones, and I'm making the most of that because, especially with the campaign that I did with a national TV network over here. At the beginning of the year, I did a campaign called Get Britain Talking, which is a mental health campaign which ran for 3.5 months from January till March. And I was one of their non-celebrity people they had in the advert. There was me and 6 other non kind of famous sort of YouTuber, Twitter people on there, and that advert was, I never forget the response I've had to that, has been brilliant. It was a case of saying it's okay, take a few minutes, like go off social media, turn off the computers, turn off your phones, just sit with your family, your loved ones, and talk about how you are, discuss what's going on with you, open up so people can discuss mental health, because it's still seen as such a taboo. As soon as someone mentions to you, oh, I have a mental health issue, they automatically think, oh, you must be some kind of unstable person. Or when I first started talking about autism and I got diagnosed, people were like, they looked at me, they're like, you, autistic, you're female. No way. And like, the amount of stereotype I got, it was like, how can you be autistic? You're polite, you function, you're social. And I'm like, yeah, but have you heard of masking? That I do it successfully to quite a point where I'm woohoo, yay, nothing seems to be bothering me. And then there's days where I've rang Shani on Twitter or I messaged her, I'm like, you know what? I'm having a really bad day. I can't process anything. I'm tired. I'm anxious. And people go, wow, yesterday you were fine. And then today you're like, whoa, keep the hell away from me. Don't talk to me. I'm like, my emotions flip like that very, very quick because I can't control them. I'm guilty of saying I lose all control. Once my emotions have snapped or something upsets me, I have no way of switching it off. I get very, very upset to the point where I have anxiety attacks. I have to deliberately isolate myself away from everybody, regroup myself, and then come back and go, okay, well, that was that day. I was rubbish. I was in a foul mood. I didn't sleep too well. I've had to regroup myself and do my coping strategies, and then the next day I can come back and go, yay, everything's good. And people go, oh, where have you been? But you disappeared. I'm like, yeah, you don't want to meet me when I'm having a really bad pants day of crying and stressing out. Shani knows when I've texted her on Twitter, I'm like, help, please. Don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I'm going to lose the plot.
Yeah, that's how mental health works. That's the thing, though. You never quite know when it's going to hit you like a ton of bricks, because it does.
Go fish and crypto, yeah.
It will hit you like a ton of bricks, and it does. And I've got complex PTSD and anxiety, and I do get bouts of depression. So just a couple of weeks ago, I actually had an episode of really severe anxiety that lasted for a good week. And I was very lucky that I had some and my family able to step in and just go, hey, what's going on? Come see us. My grandma invited me She lives around the corner from me. I'm very close to my grandma.
Oh,
So we've got no COVID cases where I am right now. So I'm
that's
able
good.
we're able to move around a bit for a little while. So yeah, she was like every morning, like, do you want to come around for a coffee? Would you like to catch up? Do you want to go for a walk? Let's go to the shops. My dad was calling me to check in. My friends were popping in to say hi. So I'm very lucky that I've got that support network that they catch it straight away when I start to retreat and when I
Yeah.
get one of these sort of anxiety episodes like you were mentioning. And they go, right, no, you're not going down that hole, Shani. Come with me.
Yeah.
Um, and I have my social media for that as well. That's the great thing about the social media I have. I don't mention, I think, enough just how much it helps me being able to do this and connect with people. It's so good for mental health to be able to
Yeah.
have conversations.
Social media has helped me massively because having that extra network of family and friends that I've connected with, it helps me improve my confidence and my social skills. Because before I was so withheld, because I was so used to being, I guess, protected and mollycoddled by my parents, especially my dad. It got to a point where my dad would get so defensive if even one person would try and say something against me. My dad's like, "You're attacking my daughter. No, you don't know." And I'm like, "Whoa! Like I can fight for myself. I can let people know about things, and if people want to question me." Or they think that there's something they don't understand, then fine, ask me. I'm not against it to be asked questions. In fact, I love it when people leave me questions or comments in my comment section. I'm like, I then go back and research it, or if they need a video doing about any side of autism, I'm like, leave a comment, leave a question. I research and I'll do that as a follow up. So at least then
Yep.
it educates them and it helps me go, oh, but they didn't know about this part of autism. Therefore, they need to know, someone else needs to know. So therefore, it helps the community to learn a lot more about me and autism in general because it's still such a misunderstood diagnosis because a lot of the time people think, oh, well, you're not one of these people who hurt yourself, or you're not one of these people who have problems with socializing. I'm like, yes, but I do in a degree because I'm very good at masking my social time. I go, yay, friends, let's talk, let's do this, let's do that. But
Yeah.
when I'm tired and I've been socializing all day for 5, 6 hours being in front of people, I drain. And then, for instance, when I used to do my autism training before the COVID ban came in, I was doing training every week. I was out for 5, 6 hours at a time on trains, going to professional meetings, going to council workers, going to psychiatric services meetings. And then, boom, all that stopped. And by the time I get home from doing that, from say, well, I was out 7:30 in the morning, getting home at 6 o'clock at night, nearly every day, Monday to Friday. By the time I got home and had a nap, had dinner, I was done. I was exhausted. People go, oh, come on panel, come on stream, do this, do this, do this. I'm like, you have no idea what I've done all day. I'm mentally tired. I'm physically tired. My back kills. I've been walking. My legs hurt. And they're like, oh, well, you'll snap out of it. No, you don't snap out of it because my brain just goes boom and I have to disappear because I can't deal with it.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
it's very
Absolutely.
hard
It
to,
is very.
and Shani understands that because she has her own battles, and I want Shani to kind of talk about what she goes through because I don't think enough people know or understand about Crohn's or her other medical issues she has. I don't think I've really let her touch enough on it previously, so I'll let you kind of explain what you go through.
Oh, okay. I'll do it quick because there's a lot. So my
No
chronic
worries.
health started when I was very young. I've had chronic health all my life. It started with severe mental health, things like allergies. I had really bad hay fever and stuff when I was a kid as well. So I was constantly sick with allergies and all of that. But I had PTSD and anxiety. That started when I was really, really little because of trauma. I was traumatized very, very young, unfortunately. And then I got bullied in school, and then the cycle of bullying. A lot of us have been
Yep.
went through that. So unfortunately, my mental health manifested as I got older into drug addiction and eating disorders and some other severe mental health problems like sleep paralysis and night terrors. I do when I get really bad anxiety and stress, my sleep gets affected, and I unfortunately get night terrors and sleep paralysis as well. So as I got older, Got to about my early 20s. I've been battling all these health issues for, forever, and the eating disorders and drug addiction. I then, my physical health started to really, really crash in my early 20s. That's when I got diagnosed with Crohn's disease. So Crohn's disease is where your immune system malfunctions and begins attacking healthy cells in the body. My autoimmune disease affects my gut. That's why it's called Crohn's. And so I got Crohn's and then got anemia, which I'm iron and B12 deficient. I also got irritable bowel syndrome. So that's my upper GI is affected. Because of all the lifestyle I've had, I had a really destructive lifestyle. Of course, I'm going to get physical problems like IBS,
Yeah.
And then I got fibromyalgia as well, which is a neurological pain problem. My brain sends the wrong signals to my body saying, you're in pain, when I'm technically not.
Yes.
I've got a lot of health issues, but most of them you could actually tie into the original, which is the PTSD. That's the sort of primary health problem I've had all of my life, and that manifested into mental health and physical health issues for the rest of my life. So that's a bit of my health story, and that's why on my channel I keep it very general. I talk about chronic health in general,
Yeah.
because I've had a dozen health conditions. So and I've had I think I did a list actually recently. I've had about 20 different health conditions across my whole life, and about a dozen of them are still active now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why my channel is about chronic health. That's why I do research on different chronic illnesses to try and simplify it, make them easy to understand. It helps me to understand people as well. Every one of those videos I create for the Health Library about Asperger's, autism, mental health, physical health, ankylosing spondylitis, about colorblindness, I don't have those health conditions. No. But when I have to do the research and, sift through all of the stuff that's online, it helps me understand those health conditions too, and the struggle that those people have to go through to get the information they need.
Hey, Simon and Scotty.
Yeah, that's why I create the Health Library as well.
Yeah, see, this is why you inspire a lot of people, not just me, but a lot of people, because chronic health, mental health is something that doesn't get discussed enough on YouTube, off YouTube, and that's why I've kind of opened up my channel and gone, I want to help more people, not just with autism spectrum disorders, but open it up to anxiety disorders, mental health, emotional health, because a lot of people, they hide a lot of problems. And like for me, like I said to you at the beginning, when I first got diagnosed with autism, I was very much in denial. I hated it. I was very angry. When my dad, actually, the day I got diagnosed, it was a Friday afternoon, and my dad decided to, without my acknowledgement, because I came home to here to rest, and he was like, 2 hours later, he phoned me, he's like, I'm coming to get you. He goes, get changed, get yourself washed. You're going to come around to your grandma's. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm done. I'm tired. I've had 4 hours of being examined by psychologists and psychiatrists. I'm not going nowhere. And he was like, yes, you are. And all my dad's family decided to gather at my grandmother's house because my dad had sent a text around saying, oh, Gemma's got some news. She wants to talk to you. And I'm like, why would you do that? 21 of my family all sitting there ready to go, so Gemma. And I got there and they're like, what's this diagnosis you've got? What does this mean? I'm like, the fact that I've only just got it, and the fact that I'm still processing it, and the fact that I'm extremely tired. I've been at the medical office since like 11 a.m. in the morning. I didn't get home until nearly 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm like, you want me to sit here now and talk all these questions and stuff? And it was kind of frustrating. So I got home and cried. I was like, why would you do that to me after being tired all day and anxious all day and having to face my family? And that's where I actually ended up losing my uncle, because my uncle decided to, what he called, disown me, because he claimed he couldn't cope with me being on the spectrum. And unfortunately, he's started to come back to talk to me now via text messaging, but he claims that he couldn't cope with the autism and claims that I was left too late to deal with things, and he feels that me having a mental problem is a burden on my family. And I'm like, I can't be dealing with someone like you who's not going to get on with me, because I'm still the same child you've met all them years ago. Just because now I have medical labels attached to me, doesn't make me any different. It just means that I work a different way to how I used to. So it's about that awareness of going, hey, I'm still that same person just because I have autism and anxiety wrapped around me. And the fact now I've also been diagnosed as being hypertonic, which basically means that my joints and my muscles are more flexible for someone my age than they should be, which I'm prone to dislocations and hurting myself, which explains why I've torn my knee tendon 3 times in a year and why I've torn the back of my leg muscle when I've had over a couple of years ago. And I'm like, oh, that explains why I'm in pain a lot, because I can't cope with damaging myself. I'm also prone to bruising myself, which I have bruises all over my arms because I bang into stuff or I bruise so easily that I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Hey, Hermie, how are you? It's good to see you all the way from Norway. I appreciate you. Good to see you. If Hermie, if you don't know Shani, the chronic health chick, please go and subscribe to her channel. She's awesome. She's a really good inspiration in the mental health and chronic health field. And she's just a lovely person. So go and check her out, please. And if one of my mods could link her channel in the chat, I would appreciate it, please. So then people can then click on the link and they can subscribe. That would help massively. So, hey Eli, sorry I just saw you come in. Sorry. I did see you were saying hi. Sorry, hi. Good to see you, Eli. I appreciate you coming in. But me and Charlie, once we get chatting, we tend to go on our little
Yes, we do.
little chats, and yeah, I'm kind of Trainspotting says, Gemma, my parents tell me before I go out in public, I ought to wrap myself up. Oh my god. Trainspotting, that is one of the things that I've been told so many times. Like, my parents always say to me, oh, Gemma, you bruise so easily. It's like we have to put you in protective bubble wrap because you're always injuring yourself. That really winds me up. I'm like, don't patronize me like that, because I'm prone to bruising anyway. Just because I fall over a lot doesn't mean that I need to be in bubble wrap. It just means that I need to be more careful and look where I'm going. It's just a case of me being clumsy, which is a prone symptom of autism. A lot of people with autism are naturally clumsy. We fall over a lot.
Yeah.
Which people don't often know. They think, oh, Gemma, like, you seem like you've got a lot of bruises, or you look like you're in pain a lot. I'm like, yeah, it's because I've either fell over or I've banged myself or I'm prone to stubbing my toes. I'm sure I've broken my little toe probably at least 5 or 6 times this year. Like, my little toe is severely bent while I keep banging it.
Oh, honey.
And then someone said to me the other day, they go, Gemma, what's wrong with your toe? I'm like, what do you mean? My little toe is like severely bent, crooked, like sort of like that. It's bent to the side. So every time I put shoes on, I'm like, yeah, it doesn't feel good, but that will show me to be careful with my feet, I guess. Because I've got a bent toe.
Yeah,
okay, Joe, I'll give you a call later.
Yeah, I'm a huge klutz. I'm always banging into things.
Yeah, I don't know how I do it. Like, I wake up, I'm like, ow, where the hell are these bruises coming from? And I went camping a couple of weeks ago, and it was quite muddy where we were staying, and I slipped. I didn't think I'd bruise myself because I had quite thick layers on. So I was like, oh, I won't bruise, I'll be fine. Yeah, like hell I was. I woke up the next day and had green bruises right up my arm. I was like, how the hell could I slip? I had like 3 layers on. I had like 2 hoodies and thick trousers on. I was like, I won't bruise myself, I'll be fine. Yeah, woke up the next day to get the shower. I'm like, ow.
So I didn't even know. I just looked down and go, I got a new set of bruises today. Yay!
Yeah. Thank you, Joe, for linking Shani's channel. I appreciate that. It's just something that I didn't really know before about myself, that I bruise a lot. And also I looked it up on the Autism National Autistic Society website, and they're like, oh, one of the side effects of being on the spectrum, especially with balance, which my balance and coordination, if people don't know, is really off. Like, I have been told I have a abnormal gait, so when I walk, I tend to walk really fast. So instead of walking the usual sort of foot to toe thing, I tend to walk on my toes. So I'm kind of walking like that. And people go, oh, Gemma, you're going to hurt yourself. I'm like, no, I'll be fine. It's how I feel comfortable walking. I just do it automatically. I don't really think about it. It wasn't until I went to physio last year because I hurt my knee and I tore the tendon in it. They go, Gemma, please don't tell me you've been walking like this all the time. I was like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. And the physio was I think a grade 6, which is like one of the top physios. And he was like, you do realise you're going to make yourself prone to dislocations and stuff. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, your bones are going to start rubbing on you because you're putting too much pressure on certain bones that you're making them rub together. Oh my God, Mike. Thank you so much, buddy. Oh God. You didn't need to do that. I'm not. I never expect that, but it's appreciated. Like I said, all the donations I do get will go back to other channels, and I give it back to the community anyway. So usually I don't really keep any of the donations. If you want to donate the money to Shani. She needs it for her business. So don't donate it to me. Donate it to Shani if you want to drop anything, and then I can give it to her via PayPal or whatnot. So I'll send that donation over to Shani after the stream. So thank you very much, Mike. Hey, Rosie. You're muted. You need to unmute.
You don't have to be. Sorry.
It's okay. No worries. I was like, I can see you talking. I'm like, huh.
I blew my nose, and then there's the fibro. There's a 7 in the morning for me. I've just woken up, so there's that. The Thai like technology.
Yeah. So like I said, any donations I do get, Mike, your donation will be sent straight to Shani after the stream because I want to help her out with her business. So any donations will go to her if people send them. So.
Oh, you don't have to do that.
That's what I do. I support the community. I'm not someone like, yes, I keep the odd donation and I use it for my last lot of donations I got. My first got monetized, I bought this laptop, so that went on donations. But any other donations I get, I usually post them back to people or I share them out on the community. So I don't like to keep them. I kind of feel like I'm stealing people's money, and it kind of makes me feel like, oh, I'm going to take people's money from them. So I'd rather donate it to other people, so then it helps them out. And there's other people who need it better than me. So people who need help and support, and you're one of them. So yeah. B Lady, yes, I can take questions. It depends what question you've got. If I can answer it, I shall try. If not, I will link you to other websites because often I don't have all the answers most of the time, probably. Hey, Go Fish, how are you?
Yeah, Hermie ASMR. Thank you for the compliment before about my hair. I do appreciate it.
Hermie is a really good channel too. Hermie ASMR, I met him just over 2 years ago on another ASMR arts channel. ASMR, a lot of people give me stick for it because they think it's a sexual thing, and it's not. Hermie's channel is just a pure relaxation channel. He does a lot of Q&A live streaming. He does a lot of relaxing videos to help people. And to me, it really benefits me because it helps me to switch off partially and helps me to actually relax my body. So ASMR for me is quite good. I know not a lot of people like it because they see it as sexual or a fetish or something, but for me, it's not that way. It's strictly about relaxation.
It can be, unfortunately, but yeah, that's not the way I think it was intended.
No.
People have just taken that because they can get views and,
Go Fish has a question for you.
Sure, what's up?
Go Fish says, at the Chronic Health Chick, did you do your hair yourself?
Yes.
No,
yes, I did.
Yeah, and the B Lady says, oh, train spotting. Really? Aww. Thank you, train spotting. That will go directly to Shani after the stream. I'll get her PayPal information and that'll go directly to Shani and I'll send it over to her so she'll get that straight after this.
Thank you. Appreciated. Much appreciated.
Train spotting is not exactly like I put up with you. It's the fact that I know sometimes you do be inappropriate, like I warned you at the beginning of the stream. I am watching your comments because you have made some inappropriate comments on another stream I was in with you earlier, so I kind of am watching you a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back, Eli. Welcome back. How are you?
Yeah.
Anyone's got any questions for Shani? Now will be the time to ask them. I don't want to keep her up much longer because I know she's got things to do. And I still have to have dinner because I still haven't eaten yet.
I
I've
don't
only had
mind.
like my lunch at like midday.
Yeah. I don't mind hanging around. I'm all good. I'm still waking up, so I'm all good just to
What's that
hang.
drink you got? That looks some kind of Japanese.
I believe it's Taiwanese actually. So
Oh, okay.
my best friend and I once a week we go to this lovely like hot pot place. It's like
Yeah,
you get ramen broth soup. We go there
yeah.
every week, but we've been trying to hunt down this drink. It's our favorite drink. We weren't able to find it. So the other day we went there and we just asked them like, where do you get these from? And they went, there's this supermarket just around the corner, this like Chinese supermarket. Try in there. We went in and we were like, can we get like a big carton of this? And they've dragged it out and they just gave us this huge carton of these drinks.
Nice. Oh, that's
So
so cool.
it's so
Like,
nice.
I'm feeling a little better. Yes, my anxiety is still kind of whooping me, but I think that's because I've been. What I tend to do is I'm quite silly. I overstress myself a lot about stuff. Like yesterday, when the UK news was going absolutely nuts about Boris's announcement, and it was constant coming up on the screen going, "New COVID guidance, new UK guidance." Da da da. I'm like, oh no, not more changes. Like, I can't really deal with the ones we've already had. So for me, it's that kind of set panic. And then my parents phoned me like yesterday. I had 16 calls from my mum, dad, and my cousin. Call me going, oh, have you heard? Have you heard, Gemma? Are you coping? I'm like, just leave me alone, please. I'm trying to process it and trying to deal with it. I don't need people going, oh, how are you dealing? How are you dealing? How are you dealing? I'm like, no, because then that stresses me out and sets my sensory triggers off, which happened yesterday, which is why I kind of took off a lot of YouTube stuff because I couldn't keep my attention. I was getting snappy. I'm like, you know what? I need to go away, calm myself down. And I did a lot of my journaling, which yesterday I wrote like 2 and a bit pages in my journal of things to calm me down. So I did that yesterday pretty much to do that. Thanks, Tamara, for linking Shani's channel. I do appreciate the link. That's appreciated. Okay. I'm not going to read that out. That's a private message. Okay. Fish. Yeah. Rosie, who's in the chat as well, she has a form of autism. She's cool. She gets a few problems, but she's a good person. If you see Rosie in the chat, Teresa, it's good to see you. Go Fish, it's a pleasure to see you as always. Good to see you. If anyone's got any questions for Shani, because I know she's a busy individual, I don't want to hold her up. If anyone's got any questions, I know the bee lady was trying to say something. Hey Shadow, how are you? Good to see you.
Yeah, the bee lady was talking about Train Spotting fan, about his legs and all of that, and I've already spoken to him about it on my channel.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I said to him like, until he sees a doctor, like there's nothing anyone else can do for him. He has to see a doctor to find out what's going on. I've got no advice to give him. I
No,
don't
this
know
is
what.
the thing. Like got me and Shani have said numerous times, we're not medics. We're not here to give advice about medical stuff. The best port of call, always, like me and Shani said on her stream, on my stream, go to your GP or physician or someone who treats you for your condition because they know the best for you. That we are not medics. I am just someone who is a chronic health sufferer. I have autism and clinical anxiety disorder. So I can only speak from my experience on how I live with it and how I deal with it. And Shani's an expert on Crohn's and her other issues that she has, but we're still not medics. We can only give advice from our own personal experience because it's how we deal with it and go, oh, hey, maybe this might help you. So it's just that we try and help. Hey, Arcade, how are you? Hey, Vampiro, good to see you, hon. How are you? I know I see you earlier. Great stream, by the way, Vampire. It's good to see you back on YouTube again. I'm glad that you're not going to give up, hun, because I know you were very upset yesterday when I was in your stream. So I'm glad you're back and not giving up because you're a fantastic woman. Very, very good. Funny lady. If you like game shows and you like challenges, Vampira and her husband Blood, they do a lot of challenges and fun stuff on their channel. They're a very, very good couple. Very, very nice people. I've known them for about 2.5 years now on YouTube. Out of the 4 years I've been on here, nearly 5 years in January. So they're scary.
Yeah. Wow.
It's gone really quick. Like 5 years of my life, like this nearly zip past. It's like I've been here in my apartment 7 years in January.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been an adjustment period. I've been diagnosed 8 years, been here 7, been on YouTube 5. So it's kind of the last
That's
7 years of my life's gone crazy.
I noticed that It's Free from Life commented to me before saying, I see you got videos on autoimmune disease. That's great to see, as I got autoimmune disease. And it's so annoying sometimes explaining it. Yeah, it gets complicated. Explaining autoimmune disease. There's a lot of misconceptions about it as well, how it affects you. Because there's so many different kinds of autoimmune diseases. Yeah, so I get it. I do. Having to explain it can be really, really tricky.
Yeah, Crypto's put an interesting comment in the chat here. She says the B date is hard. I think it's about her son. He bangs walls, breaks things, screams, takes ages to get him to bed and get ready for school. Crypto, what are you saying? Like, obviously, I'm missing a bit of the chat because me and Shani are having a really good talk and we're trying to help people, but I'm missing the chat, obviously.
She's talking about her, I believe it's her son. They were mentioning before, I think her son has autism.
Okay.
They were having a bit of a chat before about how autism affects him. Yeah, and that's I think that's what she's talking about.
Okay. Yeah, I can understand that because some people with autism, they tend to self-injure themselves, not intentionally because they're not coping. It's a form of self-coping. Like for me, sometimes if you see me, like sometimes I sit here and I fiddle with my hair or I fiddle with my nails, and people go, "Oh, why can't you keep still?" And it's not like I'm trying to be distractive or annoy people. It's the fact that it's a self coping technique. For me, if I'm touching my nails or using the end of my hair, it's because it calms me, it helps to ground me. So people go, "Oh, well, you're fidgeting a lot, you must be annoyed." No, not necessarily. It's just I self cope and I do it. I've done it on Shani streams plenty of times. I sit there and I'm talking to her and I'm fiddling my hair. It's just a way of I ground myself and self cope. It's not that I'm potentially annoyed or upset. People often get that wrong about me. They go, "Oh, well, Gemma must be anxious or she must be annoyed." No, not necessarily. It's just the fact I'm happy. I'm self calming. I'm coping, and I do it as a coping. I enjoy it. It's kind of something I've always done. Like my parents picked that up on me a few years ago. That I'll sit there talking to them that, "Oh, you're playing with your hair, Gemma. Is everything all right?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's just a way of I self cope. It's just something I do to ground me. It helps me massively when I'm sitting here talking to people. Or if I'm on a private phone call, I do it a lot because I sit here and they're talking. I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah," and we're talking about a topic, and I just feel my hair. It's something that I've always done to help me. So it's just not intentionally I'm doing it to annoy people. It's just something that I automatically do as a defense, I guess. So
Yeah,
it's not coping.
it's self-soothing. It's a
Yeah,
self-soothing technique. There's a lot of us that when we have like even especially people with trauma and anxiety and mental health and these other health conditions as well, we have our little self-coping, self-soothing mechanisms, and playing with your hair and fidgeting and touching things. That's one of them.
yeah. Like right now, like my pillow or my jacket. Like if I was frustrated or anxious, I would play with the ends of my jacket and I just turn it inside out and fiddle with it because it's cozy. And people think I'm being deliberately distractive or annoying, and it's not that I'm being annoying. It's the fact that I just like the feel of my jacket, and I have very sensitive. I'm very sensitive to materials on my skin, so everything usually I wear is soft or baggy because I can't stand tight stuff on my skin. It drives me nuts.
Yep.
So everything is baggy. Like I wear baggy tops and I have hoodies on. People go, "Oh, why do you wear hoodies? Why do you wear stuff that's huge?" I'm like, because it's
Helpful.
comfort, it's safety, it's something that I feel good with because I don't want to be restricted. A lot of women that I see, especially people like my sister or other women that I associate with offline, they'll wear the most tightest tops or the tightest jackets. I'm like, why would you do that and constrict yourself? Because you're going to gain pain and you're going to hurt yourself struggling to get it off. Whereas I'd rather just wear a nice baggy jacket because that's how I feel comfortable. It's a case of I don't want to feel like I'm trapped. So I used to do that and it earned me no favours. It's earned me a lot of previous bruises and pain trying to get coats and jumpers off. And I'm like, yeah, I shouldn't have brought that. It was too tight and I've regretted it. Whereas now I wear a lot of baggy stuff. So again, it's just a sensory issue for me. I don't know how Shani feels about that. I think we've talked about it briefly before about clothing. I think.
Yeah, yeah. So for me, my skin's really sensitive.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different clothing I can't wear. That's why I tend to wear things tight, close to the skin, so they don't rub and irritate me. Yeah, so that's a little things. You make adjustments for your health. You
Yeah.
know, not a big deal at the end of the day. I don't know why people make a big deal of it. Like, get over it.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, we're all different. We're not going to
Yeah,
conform to certain boxes. And I've learned to be more myself since I met you, like being on here and opening up to people and go, you know what? Yes, I may be different. I may be antisocial. I may be a bit direct and blunt with some of my words, but it's not that I'm intentionally being that way. It's just how I process myself. And this is practice to me. This is communication. This is helping me practice how I associate with people and how I let myself go onto a platform, because it's scary having to face a screen and go, okay, you've got someone with you, you've got people in the chat want to talk to you. So it's the counterbalance of reading the chat at the same time looking at the screen. So a lot of the time my focus is on the screen and my guests, whereas people go, oh, well, you're not reading the chat. No, I'm not, because I can't switch between my screen and the chat because it gets too much. So therefore, my effort is for the guest and my screen. So
yeah,
a lot of time I don't read the chat because people go, "Oh, what about the chat? What about the questions?" I'm like, "Yeah, if they have any, then I'll try and read them." But a lot of the time, Shani does it so effortlessly on her channel. Like, I don't know how she does it. She's always like, "Hey, this person, this person, this person." I'm like, God, that kills me. Like, having the thought of having to go, hi, 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 hi. I'm like, ah, like,
it,
yeah,
it's hard to moderate yourself. When you just, because you get on a roll when you're talking about something. Something I learned very quickly is that just because I want to say something doesn't mean I will.
no,
So I'll cut myself off a lot of times so I can read the chat. That's the trick, cutting yourself off, and that takes time to learn. I still forget to do that.
yeah, I
Uh,
still have to do that now. Like 5 years on, I'm still like having to go, hey, oh, this person says hi, and like just now, Arcade just says, Gemma, you're a blessing to YouTube. Okay, I wouldn't go that far. Like, I appreciate the
you
sentiment,
are.
but like
Yes, you
to
are.
me, I'm just little me. I'm one person who wants to educate people, and I know there's a certain way of how I try to do that. And I want to build a community like Shani has. We're a family. We're a chronic health family. We're all people who live with different things, and I never thought I'd meet someone as amazing as Shani. To be honest, on this platform, I've kind of been scared to make a lot of friends, and I have a lot of loyal people here who talk to me and accept me, and people like Shani have actually helped me to realize it's okay to speak on stuff. It's okay to go, you know what, today is a bad day, or yesterday was a bad day. I'm going to face it. I admitted it. I top it. Yeah, I may not be as social as I am usually, because I'm usually the woohoo, yay, Gemma's having a good day, and Gemma's practiced a lot of stuff, to when the Gemma's who's had enough, who's been tired, is running on right now. I'm running on 2.5 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
I can cope because I'm able to. I'm good at masking it. But people like Shani help me do that. So I'm like, you know what? It's okay to admit I'm struggling, as long as I don't focus on it too long. And then the next day I can go, yeah, okay, that was a bad day. And then tomorrow's going to be better. So today I've done my chores. I felt good. I cooked my dinner. I had a nap. I got changed, went out to the shop to go and get groceries. And then I came back in. I was like, I'm bored now. I've not been on live stream that much. Let's go live and have a chit chat with people. So that's kind of, um, yeah, Gemma, if you look at my videos, I also close my eyes when I talk. Yeah, this is another thing that people will often pick me up on and annoy me with. They always tell me off that on some of my videos that I do close my eyes, and I'll explain this in two parts. The first part is it's the sensory processing. When I'm looking at a screen, and the screen is often a bright light, and often I have to have my like front room or bedroom light on because it gets quite dark in my front room sometimes after a certain time of day. And so I have to think about the light in my head. I have to think about the screen. I'm having to process that, and the fact that I've had so much to do all day. If I've been doing chores or I've been out visiting my family, and I'm thinking, okay, I need to come back home. I've got a video to upload. I need to do the tags. I need to do the website checks, make sure all the articles are still in date. By the time I've done that, edited, it's like 5 hours. By the time it's gone up, it's like 6 hours. So it's like I can't be expected to keep my eyes open all that time and try and cope with YouTube and try and cope with my life outside of YouTube. So it's the mental processing of going, I must look at the screen, I have to socialize with people all day, I'm expected to be public facing, and I get exhausted. It's kind of my brain just kind of shuts itself down and goes, nope, you've had enough, you've done so much all day, you've pushed and pushed and pushed yourself to a point where my body just goes, ow, you're in pain, ow, 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 and I have to disappear because I can't cope anymore. It's not intentional that I do it. It's just that I get so overstimulated. I've done it on Shani's channel. I don't mean to do it, but it's the fact that I get so overstimulated with the amount of sensory stuff coming into my head that my body just goes, oh, okay, now you've had enough. And like, to me, the giveaway is my shoulders. If I've had enough sensory input or I start feeling pain, the first part of my body to go will be my shoulders, and they literally will push themselves in like that. I actually feel them pushing themselves into my blades area, and I'm like, okay, now I know I'm not feeling very well because I get struck in my shoulders and I get pain in the back of my neck, and then it spreads to my legs. So I know then I've definitely had enough because it gets to a point where my whole body feels like it's pins and needles everywhere. So it's kind of, I know to go, yeah, I've had enough, I'm done, I need to go lay down. And like Shine says to me, it's self-care, it's rest, it's making sure that I can get up the next day and not think, oh, this is going to be a pain day. This is going to be a day where I'm feeling nauseous, I'm feeling tired, I don't want to talk to anyone. And like today, I've only had my phone on for 2 hours because my parents do my head in. So I've had to turn it off and go, nope, not touch my phone, not touch my phone. I can do YouTube on my laptop, I can do emails, Twitter, have that fun stuff to do, and then I can worry about that afterwards, just so that it's not another distraction to go, okay, now I want to have a meltdown because I've got my phone and my laptop going away at me, going, all these notifications. So it's for me, I just cut that down and go one thing at a time, Gemma. And once I've done that, then I can do something else. Hey,
Yeah,
romantic, how are you?
absolutely. Yeah, that's tough, man. I think we underestimate ourselves and just how much we go through. It is really tough, really, really tough to have to live with chronic health, and I think we don't cut ourselves enough slack for just
Yeah.
how much. And anytime I forget this, I'll notice it when I tell other people about my health who maybe don't have chronic illness, and I go, right, I've got, and I go through my list, and they go, wait, what? You have what? And the
Yeah.
shock, yeah, I do deal with a lot, I give myself some slack. The bee lady, I did read the comment about your eyes. Let me just go back up just to make sure I remember. So you look at videos, you also close your eyes when you talk, as does your sister. Never diagnosed with autism, but we can be blunt and have struggled with it. Fair enough.
Also, yeah, it's not just an autism trait. This is the thing. Like, I've always said that it's not just people with autism that do that. A lot of the time, eye contact is an issue for a lot of people, whether you're on the spectrum or whether you have an associative disability or chronic health condition. I've read about eye contact can be a problem for a lot of people. Like, I have a cousin who has ADD and he can't do eye contact at all. He can't even look at my face. Like, when I saw him the other day, he looks to the side of me. So when he saw me, he's like, Gemma. And as soon as he saw me, he turned his face away. And then he looks back at the side of me. He goes, hi, how are you? But he looks at the side because he finds it too overwhelming to look at the face because he has ADD and he can't do it. So it's not just people with autism who struggle with it. A lot of people just, to me, eye contact is so overrated. It annoys me because we shouldn't be forced to do it. It shouldn't be something that is a conformed thing. If you do eye contact, great, well done. I'm proud of you for being able to do it. But a lot of us can't because it's uncomfortable. And I practice myself to do it. If I'm out doing meetings, I force myself to do it to a point where I'm so mentally tired. When I go home on the train, if I've been out all day, I nap on the train home because I'm so tired. But I only do it because I want to prove that I'm still listening and seeing people. But when it comes to me being at home, my comfort, like now, I don't care. Like, if I don't give eye contact, I'm not bothered because it's in my comfort zone. I don't have to please people who are elsewhere. I can be myself in my own house. So that's kind of, yeah. Crypto says about masks. I'm going to touch on that very, very, very quickly and be very careful what I say with that question because there's 2 pointers to this. I'm going to be very careful how I say it. Masks are good if you can wear them, and I will explain. I used to wear masks for the first couple of 3 weeks until I started getting really bad panic attack symptoms. I started getting sweaty, dizzy, feeling really faint, nauseous. One day I was at the supermarket with my sister about 4 weeks ago now, and we were packing away our shopping ready to go back into the car. And also I started having this really funny turn. Everything went blurry. I couldn't see. And I remember just grabbing onto the side of the store. They had like a bench area where you could sit. And I said to my sister, I'm going to have to sit down. I feel like I'm going to pass out. So I sat down, and the mask had made me feel so disorientated and anxious that I actually find 2 of the cashiers who thought I was actually going to have a fit in the store. And they're like, is everything all right? Is everything all right? And I went so white in my face and I was crying. And from that point on, I was like, nope, I can't do this. But instead of me being a risk to other people who have disabilities or not, I have removed myself from that situation, and I don't go into a supermarket unless I have my exemption lanyard on, or I get my family members to go shopping for me instead. So that minimises the risk of me going out to the store and touching people, being around people. But I understand some people love wearing them, or some people feel it's a comfort thing. I get it. But for me, I just can't do it. So therefore, I stay away from people if I need to, because it's a case of I don't want to infect someone or potentially make anyone ill. Like I said to Shani earlier at the beginning of this conversation, that I can't even see my own family right now because a few of my family have illnesses that are very, very serious. My mum's partner has just recovered from cancer. My nan is a heart attack victim and has had heart trouble for years. And my mum has claustrophobia and severe anxiety. So right now I can't be around any of them because they're all seen as high risk. So I can't see them and they can't see me. So I have to stay away. So I'm used to the mask situation. It's at first it bothered me, but I understand why people wear them and why we have to. But for me, I just stay away, so I don't want to make anyone else ill or affect anyone else's health. So I get the question, but I'm trying to be very careful with that because I don't want people going, oh, well, you should just try and wear one. You should try and put up with it. And the answer to that is no. Hey Phil, how are you? Fellow Aussie, how Aussie brothers in the chat. Hello, how are you doing? Good to see you. Go fish. It depends on the material. Again, like I had a really funny texture mask that my dad brought them. I think they were from some website like Wish or something. He brought a pack of like 200 of them, and the material straight away just made my face itch, and I got really irritated. So it depends on the texture of the mask and the material. Like my sister, she has a really well made one. She has one with like emoji faces and stuff on it. So it just depends on how you cope with materials. I've actually just ordered myself one to try because the UK have just released these special ones where they have like a special filter inside the mask to help people breathe properly, and it's meant to help you not feel so suffocated. So I'm going to try that and see if that helps me, so now I can start wearing that outside rather than potentially affecting everybody or making people ill. So hopefully I'll review that and see how that goes. It's just about, again, it's a sensory issue for me. It's more of a, I felt like I couldn't breathe and I was feeling like I was suffocated. So it's just me on my personal perspective. But yeah, I think I'm going to wrap this up, guys. It's been an hour and a half. I wasn't going to go nowhere near an hour, but it's been really good and we've had some really good questions. And I know Shani's got some work to do. I'm going to have my dinner before I crash into bed, I think.
Fair enough.
But thank you so much for Shani coming on, and thank you so much to the super chatters, Mike and Train Spotting, that hasn't gone unnoticed. And thank you to everyone in the chat, B Lady and Phil and Crypto, Greyfish Office, among others, E-Waste Mike, Hermie ASMR, among some other fantastic people. And me and Shani will see you next time, and we love your guts and take care. Bye, everybody.
Take care, everyone.